Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the regularly scheduled Tuesday night edition of Encrypted Connections. My name is Kyle, and this handsome gentleman to that side is Dewey the Deucer Edwards. What's going on, Deuce?
Nothing much. Just trying to keep a yard mode for this next week of rain comes in.
Oh yeah. Gotta love that rain, man.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're scheduled for some too. I think actually what's today, Tuesday? I think with Thursday we're supposed to get some, and maybe the weekend. I don't remember. Thursday I think is almost a definite, but yeah, I've gotten used to it, man. I think the Irish genetics in me, I don't mind it as much as other people do. The only time that it really bothers me is when we try to schedule something, to go out on the weekend and do some investigating or camping or whatever. And then it's like, oh, it's just going to pour all weekend. So that's really when I get miffed.
Yeah.
Otherwise I can handle it. It doesn't bother me much.
There you go. So, who's your Irish family?
My Irish family?
What clan or whatever?
I think originally it was O'Connell.
Okay.
And from what I know of them, it was my biological father's side of the family. And so I have only gotten, bits and pieces, but from what I know, most of them came from like northern Dublin area, I believe. And that's about all. I don't know a whole lot more than that. But a lot of that side of the family live in Boston, which is, a pretty heavily settled Irish city.
Right.
Yeah, big Irish community out there. Yep. Potatoes do best in moist environments. Yeah, that's right. They do.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
That's right.
Soft soil too. Not
yeah.
much.
Yeah, I'd love to go, man. I remember back when I was in my early 20s, there was a program they were offering if you had an Irish surname and were a U.S. citizen, and they could trace back your family to Ireland. They were offering, they were trying to get American citizens to go and become dual citizens and live in Ireland.
Wow.
They were offering a stipend, like money, to get you to go over there. They would help you find a place to live. And then, I don't remember the whole rest of the details now, but yeah, I wish I had taken advantage of it. Would have been cool to go over there for a couple of years, but
oh yeah, it would have been great. Yeah, my family is the Runyon, Runyan.
Yep.
Runyon.
Yep.
I've got some from Scotland. I got some from France, Wales, UK. It's everywhere, just about.
Yeah. That's. I think that's most people nowadays. It's most people are pretty mixed as far as their cultural backgrounds go. My mom's side of the family is Portuguese. Came from the Azores and little island called Flores, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. anyway, guys, again, I hate to say it. I'm sorry. I'm getting my ass kicked this week. I was fine all day yesterday, the day before, and then this shit happened again last night. And like today, as the day went on, I just started feeling crappier and crappier, aching, in pain, same stuff, massive headache, hot, feverish. I've never had it happen this many times in a week ever, never. Um, and it's really taking its toll. I'm supposed to go Friday to the doctor. He's supposed to make an appointment for me to go see a neurologist. You know, it's taking its toll, man. I don't know how much more I can handle. I'm just so wiped out, and who wants to feel like shit? Who wants to feel like shit? Nobody wants to feel like shit.
Exactly.
It's not fun. So I apologize. I'm going to do my best, and if we go, a little short tonight, then we'll continue it on the next show. But I'm gonna do everything I can, obviously, to just push through. Yesterday I went to my buddy Brandon's house, and we had a cookout. We used his grill and his smoker, and we smoked some pork shoulder and a bunch of wings, and man, it was friggin' amazing. It was so good. And so that's what we did all day. And we sat outside and just listened to music and talked, and it was really good. And I did have a beer yesterday. Well, I had a cider. I cheated. I didn't wait for the show tonight, so I already know what this tastes like. I probably maybe shouldn't even be drinking it right now, but at this point, I feel like such dog shit that I don't think it can make me feel any worse. Maybe it'll make me better. So this is the drink tonight. 1911 hard apple cider from Beak and Skiff in New York. It's small batch, and this is orange creamsicle. And this stuff is it's my new favorite. It's it's spectacular. It is light. It's refreshing. It's got that that little orangey tang when you first take a sip, and then you taste the apple, and then there's this like really creamy vanilla flavor. It's so good. It's so good. This is one of those ones that it could be dangerous because it doesn't really taste a whole lot like an alcoholic beverage. But I would absolutely recommend. It's a little sweet, not overwhelmingly sweet, but it's a little sweet. But 6.9% alcohol by volume. It is family owned and operated, 100% fresh. And yeah, it's really, really, really good. Really good. That apple pie cider that I had last time was very good too. I think they're probably pretty neck and neck. Just obviously a little difference in flavor, but here we go. Bottoms up. Cheers, folks. Yeah, that's freaking amazing. That's so good. Jeez Louise. It's literally like it's so smooth. It's like somebody let their creamsicle melt in a hard cider. That's what it tastes like. It tastes just like how they describe it. It's really, really good. And if you were just trying to like sit outside in the summer day and have a few drinks throughout the day, you could do this because it's not going to be heavy. It's not incredibly high alcohol content. 6.9 is a little high, but it's not too bad. But you could drink these throughout the day and not get too hammered and have a good time, and damn tasty, that's for sure. Also, it's gluten free for any of you soy boys out there. Mm. Yeah, that's good.
It sounds good. That's my favorite popsicle is the orange creamsicle.
Absolutely. the orange creamsicle, and then very close second, I don't think they make them anymore, was the chocolate vanilla swirl Jello pudding pop. Anyone remember those? It was sadly enough, Bill Cosby was the spokesperson.
Oh, yeah, Jello pudding pop, yeah.
Jello.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were really good too. Yes, cider, ice, and sunshine. Yeah, yesterday was a perfect day for it. Mine are now 28, 25. Yeah, year old. Yep, year old. So let's talk about this UFO stuff a little bit here. The other day, I was doing my normal rounds in the morning, taking care of the cats, and me and Ben had a conversation, much like we do, pretty regularly, fairly regularly. And then he called me back like a couple hours later, which it's not like it's super odd, but it's usually once we finish a conversation in the morning, most men, we don't call back later on. So I was like, oh, he must have something good to tell me. So I picked up the phone, and he was like, mate, you're not going to believe what just happened. And I was, my first thought was, I hope you didn't try to put another pool in. And no, he was out with his friend, and they saw a UFO during the middle of the day, very clear, super, super, super shiny, like silvery chrome colored. It was by a low flying plane, and moved off really strangely. So we started talking, and he sent me a link to a website. It's called Enigma, and it's a database for UFO reports. And it's it's newer, so they don't go back very far. MUFON has a larger database that goes back much further, but Enigma, what I like about Enigma, excuse me, is that I feel like their website is organized a little better, and the videos and picture quality is all fairly good, man. And it's easy to navigate. You could check anywhere in the world on there, and they have ways that you can go to a specific site. Like if you know that Ben lived in, let's just say like the quadrant D4150, you could go there, and boom, it'll tell you every sighting that's happened there within the however many years. And then there's videos and stories to go along with it. So we were looking at them all, and immediately noticed that there was quite a few, like the amount of sightings seemed to be really, like, really regular the last couple of years. Like there was like so many of them. And then when you compare, like when I was going back and comparing them to previous years and previous decades, the uptick is pretty significant in most places. And Connecticut, where I live, especially, we have gone up in sightings every year for the last like 4 years, I think, maybe 5, and up pretty significantly. Just like with this Bigfoot stuff, there seem to be these areas where the phenomenon is more prevalent. And what I found was that area that I investigate the Bigfoot stuff in the northeast corner of Connecticut, bottom corner of Massachusetts, where there's a high concentration of reports of Bigfoot stuff. There's also a high concentration of sightings, videos, pictures, and reports of UFO data. Made me wonder, what's the overlap? Why is there Bigfoot stuff that's pretty heavy up there, and then this UFO stuff is pretty heavy up there? I've never once believed in the fact that there was any kind of connection between UFOs and Bigfoot. Never. I don't know that I do still, but I don't, not that they have a connection, but maybe the area itself they're connected to. Something about those areas attract these things. But I'm curious if any of you guys have noticed that you've had, sightings, or, been able to see something or things that, normally for most of your life you didn't see. I saw one last year right outside my house, which I thought was really strange. And I feel like if you spend the time looking up in the sky with the right equipment, night vision, scopes and goggles and binoculars and stuff, it just makes it that much easier. But I'm curious if anybody in the chat has had any sightings over the last, let's just say like last 4 or 5 years, because it seems like this stuff is it's just constantly going, like, up. There's this uptick, and I don't know why. Makes me a little nervous. It makes me wonder if they know something that we don't know, and they're buzzing around here much more often because they're preparing for something, or they're trying to warn us about something, or they're waiting for the right time to warn us about something. I don't know. It just seems strange to me.
I think they're keeping an eye on us.
I fully believe
they're trying
that.
to keep us from destroying the earth.
I fully believe that. Yep. I mean, it's just like back during the Cold War when they parked their ass right over the missile silos and shut them down.
Yeah, exactly.
That was their way of saying, don't touch that button. Don't do it. You'll destroy this whole world. And that will happen. If anybody decides to let off a nuke, that's it. It's the end of this place, man. It's all over.
Exactly.
Then it'll be a back and forth, people firing missiles, nukes here, nukes there, and there won't be any place you can live anymore.
We got nowhere to run to. I mean, we've backed up as far as we can get. I mean, it's it,
Yep, exactly. I also was browsing Reddit, and there was a post, and I didn't get to see who it was by because part of it was cut off. The original poster put it on Reddit, and it was yanked off. And so somebody had thought when they read it, this is going to get pulled, so I better take a picture of it and post it again. And thank God they did. And it was all about this guy who claimed to work for one of these entities in the government, and knew all about these ships and how they maneuver, and that it's more like a avoidance detection system, but not like the ones we have. Those things don't care if it's water, if it's air, if it's solid, none of that matters to them. They will and they can move through all of that without any problem. And he was describing how they're able to do that. Of course, that post got taken down very shortly after, and I wasn't able to friggin' copy it. And so a lot of it was probably lost. I bet people will keep posting it, but it was really interesting talking about how these things maneuver and how they work. Now, I don't know if this guy really knows what he's talking about or not. It could just be could just be a guy who's out there, gaslighting people. There's a lot of that, but it was still interesting. The thing is, there's got to be people out there who do know. There's got to be.
Got to be, yeah.
So, it's a matter of when somebody comes forward and says, I have information about this stuff, trying to vet them and figure out how do they have information? Is it solid information? Does it sound plausible? The problem is too, though, that if these things operate way outside of our box of normalcy and rules, and physics, then it's none of it's going to make sense to us. We're going to hear somebody tell us that they do this and they use this, and you go, well, that's not possible. Physics says it's not possible, so you must be full of shit. If you send me a picture you're able to share with the stream for a second. Yeah, here. Hold on. I'm gonna Send it to my email. Hold on, I'll send you a text. I'll send you a text, buddy.
Yeah, Dee and I were coming back from Clarksville the other day, and it was kind of cloudy. It was kind of like a storm coming in, and I thought it may have been a plane to start with, but it zipped behind a cloud, and I kept watching that cloud and never saw it come out the other side. I don't know where this thing went. I thought that was kind of odd, but I don't know. It was weird. I kept my eye on that cloud the whole time, expecting it to come out to the side, and it did not. I don't know where it went.
Yeah, man.
No idea, but it may have been a UFO, may not. I don't know, but
well, I mean, that's the thing is you see videos of stuff like that pretty often. These things zipping around, changing direction, flying in and out of clouds, and then seemingly just disappearing. There's a video on that Enigma site of this stationary object that's pulsating. It's pulsating this light, and it's the craziest blue, red, purple light that I've ever seen. Like, it's hard to even describe. Like, I've never seen light like it on Earth. It's a very, very vivid color, so vivid, and it's flashing these colors. It's pulsating, much like the one that I saw in Lebanon, Connecticut years ago with like 20 other people. But that one was changing all different colors. This one was only changing like 3. Then these 2 beams come out of this thing, out of the top and the bottom, and they start growing. And they shine across to these 2 what look like stars, just right to them. Stop on those stars or whatever these lights are, sit there for a minute, then they retract back into this thing, and those lights are gone. What the hell is that?
Wow.
What the hell is that? It was so strange, man. So strange. Then Ben sent me a picture of one that had this, it was crazy. It's just this black thing in the sky with this giant, like, I don't know, looked like a giant, like, fire coming out of the bottom of it. Weird. So weird. I wonder if there's any way to attract these things. I know there's the C5 thing. People talk about that. Here, let me do this.
Yeah, I wish I could come up with some kind of a invention that would detect UAPs and UFOs. I don't know where I would start, but maybe something I kind of do some research on to see.
Well, they have these
Never
detection
know.
systems. They have detection systems. UAPD. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. They're really interesting. These things.
That's the one Joe was asking about on his post the other night. UAP D something. I forgot what it was now. I don't know if anybody had any experience with it.
Yeah, UFO. Where is it? UFO DAP. Yep, UFODAP.com. And they have these crazy like 360 cameras that are programmed with a chart of the sky, and then they have the ability to measure the slightest changes in environmental stuff, and some of the things that regularly show up during UFO and UAP activity. And so when something comes up on the camera that's not part of the natural sky, or it's not deemed to be a plane or a helicopter or anything, it's set like instantly will zoom in on some of these things, take a picture, and then log it. Also, it knows that there's certain parameters in the environment that when they start to change, then it'll kick right on and start really checking out those sky maps to see what's out there, because there's a lot of these things that happen during a lot of the UFO sightings. They're not cheap though. This stuff is not cheap. You're talking thousands of dollars, but sounds interesting. A lot of the stuff was made by some pretty smart guys and gals. But yeah, it's not letting me. Where the hell is it?
Lady Wolf is in the house.
Hey, Lady Wolf.
How you feeling, Lady Wolf? Missed her last night.
What the hell, man? Why is this not letting me do this? Come on. Come on. There it is. Okay. There it is. All right. StreamYard. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Share. Here you go. The happy father and his little bundle of joy.
Oh, all right.
Mr. Salty. And salty daughter. She's so cute, man. She's so cute.
Yes, she is.
Big old eyes. Yeah, she's adorable, man. Good for you, brother. I'm happy for you, man. I am happy for you, man. Where's your bikini, though? I figured, you're like, oh yeah, let's share something. If it's a pool shot, then I figured it would have been a bikini to be worth my while. But all right, way to let your friend down. Thanks.
There you go.
Just
build
kidding.
you up, let you down, huh?
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna try to get my pool uncovered tomorrow, maybe, if I feel like, if the rain holds out. So
Yeah,
get an early start before the sun comes out and gets hot. I was mowing my yard this morning at 6 a.m. trying to beat the heat.
Yeah, frig that.
Didn't quite beat it, but I got it in good shape. So
yeah, it's warm up here this week too, man. It's in the 80s. It's humid. It's not fun for me. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the heat. I don't like the humidity. Yesterday was pretty good. It was about 70. It was wasn't really humid. A little bit of a breeze. So yeah, that's okay. But once it starts hitting 80, and that's when the humidity creeps in, I'm all set. 90, no thanks, Hope. You can keep that. Nope. Don't like it.
We're up to 84 right now.
Yeah, nope.
And now it's showing rain. So I guess we're getting a rainstorm, I guess, now.
Just no thanks.
I need to set my tomato plants out, I guess, where they'll get watered. Need to put them in the ground tomorrow too, I guess.
Yeah. I just can't wait until like the end of September comes, and then we're heading into fall again. That's my favorite time of year, man. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I love spring and I love fall, but I don't care much for the winter and I don't care much for the summer. I didn't realize how cold weather affected my knee replacements. But I've got 2 titanium knees, and it gets cold. They let me know quick. There he is. Thought we lost you for a minute.
Yeah, no, I had to do something real quick. I just didn't want to keep the camera on. This is the drink of the night, Lady Wolf. It is 1911 hard cider by Beacon Skiff in New York. Orange creamsicle, 6.9%. It is gluten-free. It's family owned, and it is spectacular. Very, very good. I would say it's probably my favorite so far. Just a little bit ahead of the apple pie. Just a little bit. But it's really good.
I'll have to try that. 911 is my angel number.
It's your what?
Angel number, a recurring number.
Really?
That I see every day just about. And that's not counting the 911 stickers on the cop cars either, but I just see it all the time.
I've never heard of this before in my life.
Really?
No.
Everybody has a recurring number. Some have like 333, or I have 444. I see it pretty often. 444 and 911 are my numbers I usually see.
Huh.
When I started paying attention to it, when I was a volunteer fireman. It was on 9/11. I was at the fire hall. We had a 911 alarm system set up, and it went off at night. And it was actually, I looked at the clock, and it was actually 9/11. So my 911 alarm went off at 9/11 on September the 11th, and that's when I got to really paying attention to it. And really, I see it all the time. So
that's strange. I've never heard of this. Maybe I should start paying attention.
That might be a subject of discussion for another show too. You know it?
Yeah, for sure.
Get people's numbers up.
I had a conversation. Oh man, I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, who had he came very close to dying during COVID. He was in a coma, and he had mentioned yesterday that since that happened, he's had some really strange things occur. Things like kind of more than deja vu, like almost like psychic episodes. Like this, he knew it was coming. He's done this before. He's
Right.
Never had those things happen before. The coma, really interesting. Those type of things. I was trying to talk to him about it, but I also didn't want to push because I know it's obviously a hard topic, and hopefully he doesn't get upset if he sees this that I mentioned it. Obviously, I'm going to keep his name anonymous, but I was really happy to see him because I hadn't seen him since before COVID, and and then all that happened, and so it was good to see him. But those things are interesting, man. Synchronicities. I don't believe in coincidence anymore. Fresh asked me to rate the beer, the cider. Okay, understand that I am not going to be a schmuck when it comes to rating. I'm not going to be one of these amateurs. These are going to be tough scores. Okay, so I would give it probably like an 8.3. I'd give it an 8.3. I'd give the apple pie an 8.1. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. That's a good score. It's tasty, man. It's very tasty. One sip, everyone knows the rules. Yep. He actually gave mangoes in Mystic, which is a couple towns over from me. Portnoy gave mangoes an 8, and he said it was a little cold. He thinks if it was fresh, he would have given it a higher score. And if you know him, any pizza that's an 8 or above is a damn good pizza. I mean, that's a high score for him, really high.
Hmm.
So mangoes is good. I've always thought mangoes was really good. I still think Vegetori is better, but I don't know if he posted that one yet. I'll have to check it out. Like I said, I still think he's going to be tough because the undercarriage is a little chewy for his liking. He's very tough, but I think taste wise, it's Vegetori's is way better. Let's see, what are we saying here? The flavor's that good. Yeah, it's really good, Lady Wolf. Really, really good. It's light. It's light. It's creamy. It's got a little bit of that orange tang. Obviously, you taste the apple side of things. It's creamy and like smooth. It's very, very good. Very good. Vanilla. There's a little bit of vanilla flavor. What's a bishop's finger?
It's what I was wondering. I was afraid to ask.
Yeah, me too. I was a little bit nervous about that. Mangoes was in Mystic Village, yes, with the ice sculptures. Yep, it was. I got pizza there that day, right? Didn't I? I believe I did. Maybe I didn't. I know that's right. I ended up choosing against it. I went and got tacos. That's right. That's what happened. Yep. Like a Guinness. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Like so soup. So it's dark and heavy. I don't mind a Guinness, but that's it. If I drink a Guinness, that's all I'm drinking is one. It's too heavy. I like it, I like the taste of it, but it's just too heavy. I can't drink them all night. End up with a bellyache.
I like going to the Smoky Mountain Brewery there in Gatlinburg, and they have delicious food there too. But they have all these different flavors of craft beer, and they've had some that's pretty good, and some that I wasn't a fan of at all. But
Yeah.
I didn't let them go to waste. I didn't pour them out, but I finished them off.
Yeah, I love doing that. We used to go to the vineyards around here, and we would try to do the vineyard trail through Connecticut. It's almost impossible to hit every vineyard because there's so many. You'd have to do one like 2 a week. It's just hard, but we would hit a few every summer and try the wines and stuff. And there's some really good wine in Connecticut, and Pomfret was like one of my favorites. And then there's also a cider vineyard and brewery in Westerly, which is only a couple towns away. It's called Appled something. Yeah, it's supposed to be really good. Never been, but it's supposed to be really good. Yeah, I did take tacos over pizza that day. I was dying for what's it called? Carne asada. I was dying for it. I still haven't found any carne asada taco that even measures close to the ones in Fall River near Brian's house. They are out of this world good. Out of this world. And they're so simple. It's just steak, a little bit of that cotija cheese, a little bit of cilantro, fresh chopped onion, and then they squeeze a little bit of lime on top of it, and you have a green salsa and a red salsa to choose from. That's it. There's nothing else on it, but the flavor in the steak is so good. Yeah, it's amazing. Damn it! Now I want those tacos.
I had tacos for lunch today. It is
Really?
taco. It is Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday. I haven't eaten anything yet. I do not feel good. I just haven't had a damn appetite whatsoever.
You were talking about that apple when we were on our senior trip down in Florida in 1970. We we had some friends that was coming down. It wasn't in our class. They graduated a year before.
Mm-hmm.
They they transported our beer down for us. We had coolers and all in the back of their car. We had all of our Budweiser and our Blue Ribbon and everything in their car. They brought it down. We had to go down on a Trailways bus. So anyway, we got there, and I think the bus driver started drinking immediately when he parked the bus. But anyway, we were walking around, trying to keep our cans hid and everything. We had 4 or 5 different chaperones with us, and one of them was a Baptist preacher, and so we found this drink in a vending machine called apple beer. I'd never heard of it before. The only place I'd ever seen it. But anyway, it didn't taste all that great. It smelled like beer. It had a slight beer taste to it, but I think it was just more or less kind of like a cider.
Mm.
So anyway, we learned we could get us a couple of cans of this apple beer, take them to the sink and pour them out, and pour our real beer in this can, and walk around with it, That's what we did. And one day the preacher, he was our chaperone, he came up and says, "What are you drinking there?" And I said, "Oh, it's apple beer. I've never heard of that before. Let me try a drink of it." So I handed it to him. He turned it up and took a drink of it. I've tasted that before, but I can't quite place it. Anyway, we had our bathtubs all full of ice and had our drinks and all ice down in them. So I had to take a bath or a shower. You had to clean the tub out before you could actually get in to do it. But I don't know how we survived it or not, but we did.
Yeah, those days, man. We were talking about that a lot the other day. I worked a brew fest at Ocean Beach here in New London. They have a big there's like a big hall there. You can rent it out and have events at it. People have weddings at it and stuff. And so we were in high school. And we were just supposed to be the ones selling tickets for people to get the beers. You have to buy tickets and you go around to the different stands, and they give you like a small cup.
Right.
It's like a taster's cup, and you can also get food with it. So what we were doing is they ended up switching us to the food booth, like the hot dog stand and the hamburger stand. And these guys would come up and they were, completely wasted. And they'd be like, let me get a hot dog, let me get a bratwurst, let me get a hamburger. And we tell them, it's so many tickets. And they'd go, oh man, that's a lot of tickets. I don't have many left. And we'd go, well, here, just whatever you got left, just give it to me and I'll make it work. And we would just swap. And then we would take the tickets. And if you had the tickets, it meant you were of age because they checked your ID at the door. So we would take the tickets. We would rotate. One person would go in. They'd take some tickets. They'd buy themselves a few little tasters and then, chug them real fast, come back to the booth. The other person would go, take their tickets, grab a few tasters, chug them, come back to the booth. And we did that for about 4 hours. By the end of that, we were hammered, absolutely hammered. Those big, giant, circular tables that you have to unfold the legs on the bottom?
Yeah.
The big ones. They're like 10 feet across.
Yeah.
With the laminated wood on top or whatever. Well, we had to put those away at the end of the night. So as you can imagine, watching us try to roll those tables across this hall at the end of the night didn't go well. Did not go well. The boss was like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? She came over, she could smell it. She's like, you guys are hammered, you're trashed. Yeah, that was a fun night. That was a fun night. The things we did.
We had one of our neighbors when I was growing up. One of our neighbors would stop by on Saturday night and unload his beer out of his car. He didn't want his parents to catch it in his car. He'd unload his car. There was a little old culvert that crossed underneath the road that had like a little small pool of water there by it most of the time. He would stop and put his 6-pack or 2 6-packs or whatever he had left in this culvert in this water, and he would leave it. I guess he'd plan on coming back and getting it later, I guess. But, we discovered his secret by accident. So every Sunday morning, me and my brother made a run up to that culvert. We retrieved his beer. And right across the creek from this was a big spring, big hole in the ground, had ice cold water in it.
Mm.
and we'd take it up there and put it in the spring, and then we'd kind of sip on it during the week and everything when we could. But that was my first contact with beer, I guess you'd call it. But it wasn't bad. But it was Old Milwaukee. It's a brandy drink, but
Yeah, Old Milwaukee. God, that was not one of my favorites.
no, me neither.
Oh man, the things we did. Um, I had a friend who used to do that. He would hide it on the side of the road down in these little streams in the winter when he was working for a local municipality plowing snow. He would stop off and jump out and grab it. Obviously, it was a different time period, but yep, pretty crazy.
Oh yeah,
Very crazy. Encrypted
it,
concoction. Yeah, that's a good one.
it was crazy growing up on the farm. We didn't have we didn't well. You could go up to the little store and you could buy individual cigarettes. You'd open up a pack of cigarettes and put them in a jar.
Yep.
You could buy one at a time, two at a time, whatever you wanted. But we'd get out in the woods a lot of times and break off these pieces of this regular grapevine, like Tarzan would swing on, but with a smaller version of it. And they would you could fire them up and smoke one of them a little bit, but you leave blisters on your mouth, that and corn, that and corn silk, rabbit tobacco, and didn't have none of the good stuff there though for a while,
Yeah, it's funny that, thinking back about them being able to sell, or well, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was ever actually legal to sell Lucy's, is what they call them here.
Yeah.
And in New York, they call them Lucy's. I'm not sure if it was ever actually legal, but they would do it. They would do it. They'd sell them for, like a buck a piece. So when a pack of cigarettes was $10 if they were doubling their money if they sold 20 cigarettes.
Yeah. These were I think a dime a piece, the best I remember.
Yeah.
And that's back when a pack of cigarettes, was 35 and 40 cents, a pack.
Yep. The cheapest I remember cigarettes ever being here were $1.89. I think, yeah, about $1.89 a pack. And then they just continued like almost every year to go up. Now they're about, I don't know, $15.
I haven't even priced any lately. I quit smoking April the 30th of 2005. The last cigarette I smoked.
Yep, I quit smoking.
And one of the reason I quit was I woke up in the hospital and couldn't move my left side.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a massive stroke at work. Just luckily, I was just a very few minutes down the road from a Skyline Hospital, which is one of the leading stroke hospitals in the United States, or in the state anyway. And they got me there in time to get me they got there in time to sign the papers. They give me an injection of vampire bat serum.
Huh?
It dissolved the blood clot.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
Vampire bat serum.
Right. They've only got 1 hour to give it to you. And they call it the golden hour. And just luckily, a friend of mine recognized what was going on. And he called 911, got ambulance over to me. And at the same time, he called Dee up and told her what was going on. And she got en route real quick, and she got there. She got there in time, for for her to sign the papers, But yeah, it was weird. I didn't even have a left side. I couldn't move my left foot. My left arm wouldn't move. I couldn't hear out of my left ear. I couldn't see out of my left eye. I mean, it was crazy, And
Jeez.
they had to knock me out to put me in the MRI to see what was going on because I was fighting them tooth and nail. I'm claustrophobic anyway, and I can't stand to be, tied down or held down or anything. And but They knocked me out and did the MRI, and then they said it was about the size of a grapefruit to start with. And then a couple of days later, it was the size of a tennis ball, and then it got down to the size of a golf ball, So I was just, by the grace of God, to come out of it, So it was
Where
weird.
was this? How? That's a huge friggin' blood clot. Where the hell was it?
In my brain, I think
Holy
I didn't know my brain was that big, but it was big. It was big.
Jesus, that's massive.
I told Dee, I said, well, I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. And I said, I mean every word of this. I said, if I don't come out of this, if I'm gonna be a vegetable the rest of my life,
Mm-hmm.
either one of two things is gonna happen. Either you're gonna take me out, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna take myself out. I'm not gonna put you through a life of having to take care of a vegetable. I'm not gonna do it, So
Nope.
like I said, just luckily by the grace of God, I come out of it good. Went through a whole lot of physical therapy, had to learn how to walk again and all that stuff, So it was weird. My left foot still feels like it's asleep. I mean, it's been that way. It's been that way since that day, and they say it'll never change. It's just I guess it's some damaged nerves or whatever, But it was scary. It was scary.
I bet. Shit, man. I bet. Yeah, we had that conversation yesterday actually about if it ever came down to it, like if I ever found out that I had dementia, that's it. I'm done. I'm not there's no way I will allow myself to be a prisoner in my own body. I just won't do it. Not just not just for me, but for anybody who may still be alive, like to feel like they would have to take care of me through that. Nope, but I won't go through it. There's no way. I'm sorry. We call it humane to put our animals down. Why is it not humane to allow us to have the opportunity to take that choice?
Right, right.
Why do they force us to suffer just so they can make more fucking money?
Yeah, I was
You know?
telling Dee the other day. I said, my memory, I can remember stuff that happened when I was just a very few days old.
Yeah.
My memory is excellent as far as back in the, I guess my long term, I guess you'd call it. But it's as long as I can remember stuff like that, I'm fine. But I don't know what I'm gonna do if I can't start. If I can't remember this stuff. But I
Yeah.
value my memories.
Yeah, man. My short term memory is really bad. It's gotten really bad. I bet it's kind of a combination of things. I think it's probably um, related to like head trauma, being punched in the face, kicked in the head. Having concussions. I think maybe some of it may have to do with like the years that I was having trouble with the drug thing. So my short-term memory is really bad, and that's scary. It gets really scary. It gets really frustrating. My long-term is really good though, but I've seen firsthand what dementia is. I worked in a dementia unit, an Alzheimer's unit, and there's no way. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go through it. It's not living. It's suffering, the worst kind of suffering possible. Same thing with being a vegetable. No thanks. You better figure out a way to knock me off, and that
Right,
that
right.
you're not going to get in trouble, but you better do it. You better do it. Yep, it is. It's funny. That's pretty scary, Octo.
Yeah,
Seizures are terrifying. Seizures, like grand mal seizures, are so scary. If you've never seen one of those, that's a traumatic thing to see.
yeah. I went to a car wreck one time. This girl was having a seizure, and she was still having it when we got there. And she had just, I reckon, just run off the road. She didn't. Wasn't hurt or anything. She just run off the road and run through a fence.
Mhm.
But yeah, she was having that seizure. And nothing you can do. Just kind of
Yep.
keep them calm. And keep them
Yep.
from biting their tongue. Maybe that's about it. But
Yep. You just got to brace them, put something
yeah,
soft behind their head, and that's about it, man. That's all you can do.
he was
It's
talking about
scary.
going to work and seeing somebody with a seizure. Uh, I was at work one morning. We were back in our I was a electronic tech supervisor, and we was back in our shop, And all of a sudden, we hear this woman's voice scream over the radio. Security, security, get to the locker room. We've got shots fired. We've got shots fired. Get to the locker room immediately. Security wasn't even armed anyway. They were just, they didn't have a walking cane or anything. But
What?
and I got to holler, everybody exit the front. Everybody exit the front. And I thought, well, if this guy's shooting, that's where he's at. He's out front. So I took my guys out back behind the building, and we got out. We come around the building and got back out that way. But yeah, they were letting people down. The locker room was upstairs by the cafeteria, and they had this old homemade ladder that somebody had made out of 2x4s, and it was up at least 2 stories tall. And they were bringing people down this old rickety ladder, from the locker room, and but it was crazy. But this guy I reckon he had thought this guy was trying to take his wife from him or something. But yeah, he brought a 45 into work, and he fired it 7 times and hit the guy. I think 5 out of 7, I think, or something like that. And the guy fell dead there top of the steps. So it was a pretty intense there for a while.
Hey man, listen, you know my theories on things. There's got to be consequences to your actions. If you're a freaking if you're a grown man and you know what you're doing and you mess around with another man's wife, another man's family, anything like that, well, sorry, you get what's coming to you, whatever that may be.
Exactly.
I don't feel bad for you.
Yep.
I don't.
You're right.
Not that I think like killing someone is the answer to everything, but everyone's different. That guy on that day may have had the worst day of his life or the worst week of his life, and then all that stuff too. Like, forget it. That's why you don't do it. Just be an adult. Be an adult, man. Be an adult. Make the right choice and don't do shit like that to people. Be respectful, and that's all.
Unexplained. You're talking about the animals having a good life. I've got 2 felines here in the house, and I shudder to think what would happen to them if we hadn't brought them home with us. So they probably wouldn't even be alive today. We just rescued both of them, and they mean the world to me.
Well, let me say this real quick because I just saw it and I missed it before. Fresh lost a friend to cancer a little while ago, so I'm really sorry, buddy.
I missed that one too.
Yeah, it's never easy, man. That's another one too. Like I was saying it the other day, like I don't like to go to the doctor because I don't have the brain where if the doctor said to me, "You have incurable cancer, you've got 6 months to live," I wouldn't be able to live. I would be in my head every day just thinking about the fact that tomorrow is maybe the day I die. And it would overwhelm me to the point that I wouldn't live. I would sit and wallow in anxiety. So I don't want to know. If that happens to me, don't tell me. Do not tell me. Because I just couldn't, I don't think I could process it. Back to the animal thing, we've had a hiccup with the cat. That little fuck twit shitbag called the town and reported the house, even though it was moved off his property and moved to the neighbors, and said that it's a eyesore and it's considered blight. And the town sent an ordinance violation and said that it needs to be moved or they'll take it.
Wow.
So I had to move the friggin' house. The old man was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't call. He was like, he had asked me if I could move it for the summer just so they could take care of his lawn and stuff. And I was cool with that because it's summer. It's like,
right.
She's okay for the summer. She's got places she can go, if and when it rains. I did the house mostly for the winter just so she had somewhere warm to go.
Right.
So I was okay with 3 months of, the house not being there if it meant that for the winter it was. But then this douchebag went and did that. But don't worry, I have a plan. I'm not going to say it here because I'm not going to incriminate myself, but I have a plan.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no.
It's a very good plan.
We don't need to be
anyone's going to get hurt from. It's nothing no one's going to get hurt, but it's going to be really fun. It's going to be payback on a scale that's going to be absolutely amazing. And I promise you, I will videotape when it happens. I will. It's a great plan.
Payback will be severe and quick.
Yeah, now I don't know if it'll be quick. I'm not sure if it'll be quick. It may get dragged out for quite a while.
That's the best kind.
But that's not my choice. That's not my choice. That's the choice of some other people. Um, you should drive to Connecticut. Yeah, you should. You should all come up here. We should all just, protest on the front lawn, a little friggin' maggot. I'll tell you right now, he knows not to come outside. He will not come out if I'm out there. He won't. He won't. Because I can't. I'm unfortunately, and I say this. I'm a flawed human being. I'm not perfect, and I probably would confront him very close to his face, and any slight twitch might make me react in a way that was, deemed self-defense. So he won't come out. He refuses. He leaves before I get there, and I've seen him drive by even before pulling in his driveway when I've been out there. He'll drive right by, keep going.
Can you get a picture of him?
He's an absolute coward. One of the guys from down the road, I saw him today, and he was talking about the house, and I told him what happened. He was like, "What? Why, man?" He's like, "I was telling my girl the other day, like, that's a good guy right there, what he does for that cat. That's a good dude." And he was like, "I don't understand, man." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't either." Yep, I don't either. Oh, yeah, that's right. Dewey, can you fly up there, man?
Sure.
Can you fly? Can you use your bat wings?
I can't fly yet. I'll have to get my real ID first, but
No, your bat wings.
oh,
Use
my
your
bat
bat wings.
wings. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, we can invite him on the show. That'd be wonderful. He would never come on the show. Are you kidding me? Never. Never. I would post it everywhere. Animal hater, animal abuser on the show tonight. Join the chat.
There you go. Can you get a picture of him?
Oh, I sure can.
Like I think it was That Fresh said something about make up some posters, a picture on it.
Yeah,
List him as a pedophile or something, and put him on all the area light poles and stuff.
We've got a good one. We've got a really good plan. Don't worry. I can't take the cat. So here's the hiccup. Here's the whole hang up with the cat, right? Ready? I cannot take the cat because technically she's owned by the horrible human being who lives across the street from this little twit. She doesn't. She never took care of the cat. She kicked the cat out of her house when the cat was very young. She doesn't. When I moved there, whatever it was, 8 years ago, the cat was starving. She was anemic. She had worms. She was, she had hair that was falling out. She just was in terrible shape. She was skin and bones. I mean, you could see her ribs, her shoulders, her backbone. So I took it upon myself to start giving her food and earning her trust. And for 8 years, I nursed her back to health. I did. I gave her medicine. All that shit, man. Tried to take her. It didn't work. The owner, quote unquote, the owner, doesn't want her, but won't let me take her. So you figure it out. I don't get it. I don't get it. Makes no sense.
No, makes no sense.
Nope. But if I was to just take her, she could. No, she won't. I've already tried, Sharon. I have done everything possible to care for this cat, and I hate to say this, I don't think she's going to be around much longer. She's having some issues walking now. Her hind end is getting wobbly. Her hips aren't working great. Maybe I don't know if I don't think she's got hip dysplasia because that's really rare in cats. Maybe she caught Lyme. I don't know. Because it'll affect their hips a lot, especially in elderly cats. And she's 13. She's not going to be around much longer. I just wanted to give her at least the most comfortable life I possibly could for the last few years of her life, man. That's it. A place to lay down that was safe, that was warm, that was comfortable. She could get out of the snow, she'd get out of the cold, she'd get out of the rain, and I've just been met with absolute pieces of dog shit the whole way.
Can you catnap her?
I could, but the problem is that she would know in the second that I'm sure they would come here. They would come, they'd find me or find out, I don't have any place to put her really. Like
Okay.
if I took her here, if I could take her here, that's the first person that her owner would say, "Oh, he took her." And so if the cops showed up here, I'd be whatever. They could charge me. Not that it's a crazy charge, but it would be like I would have put her through a ton of stress for what, you know? So I've looked at every option, man, and I just don't know what to do. I talked to the owner's ex-husband. Me and him are on very good terms. And I said, "You need to talk to her. You need to get her to allow me to put the house in the side yard. That's it. Just put it in the side yard and change the blankets every once in a while. Nothing else. I won't go in the yard and mess around with anything. I won't feed her there. I'll feed her off by the car in the street. That's it. Just so she has a place to go." I even said, like, I'll give her money. Like, tell her I'll give her money every month. So I'm waiting to hear back. Yeah. So
Can you
we'll
take
see.
her to court and get custody of the cat?
Oh, I don't know, man. And it's like you she when it was tried before to get her to become an indoor cat, she lost her mind. Absolutely lost her mind when she was inside. Freaked out, pissed everywhere, was screaming, crying, climbing the
Oh,
walls for days. Like she thinks she's trapped. Like she doesn't get it.
right.
She doesn't get it. So it's like, what's the plan of action? What's the least stressful thing to do to an elderly cat at this point? And the least stressful thing is to make sure she's got food, make sure she's got medicine that she
Right.
needs, make sure she has a place that she can lay down that's safe, that's warm, and that's the best you can do. And I go there every day and take care of her. She's probably got a year left, man. Probably got it. So if you guys can, say some prayers, send out some energy,
Yeah.
some good energy my way and some really terrible
You
energy
got them.
their way. She was fixed when she was a baby. Surprisingly, she was fixed when she was a baby. She's never had kittens, which was really surprising to me. But a lot of the programs here in this state, when you adopt a cat from like Humane Society, ASPCA, any private rescue, they give you a voucher to get them fixed for free. It's part of the rescue
Yeah.
program. So I'm sure that's why she got fixed, because it was free. But yep, she's a sweet girl, man. She's so sweet. She comes running every day when I pull up, meowing, rubbing all over you, and she gets so um overly excited that she drools, and then she'll like the drool is the first like overstimulation, and then after that she nibbles on your hand. She'll bite your fingers, not hard, but it's like a love bite. She gets overstimulated
Right.
and she'll
Right.
go ah, 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 ah. Yep, it's pretty funny. It's very expensive to get them fixed.
Well,
Super.
it's not too bad. We've got a place up in Franklin, Kentucky called the Fix Foundation, I think's the name of it. And they do dogs and cats too. But it's only like 25 or 30 bucks or something like that to
Oh
get one done.
shit,
And
no,
then
we ain't got that here.
we went to Walmart and bought 3 or 4 bags of dog food and 3 or 4 big bags of cat food and carrying back and donating them to them, where they have, stuff to feed the animals with, but yeah, they're a real nice place.
Even the programs here, like those programs are supposed to be less expensive. Um, is that you're still paying like anywhere around like 150, you know. Females cost more because it's a more difficult surgery,
Right, right.
you know. It's not cheap, man. Not cheap. The lowest place I think I found was like $80 for a male and like 100 for a female. Yeah.
But they do a good job. They keep them overnight and you go back the next day and pick them up and bring them
Yep.
home.
Yep, they do. They do a very good job. The work that those people do at those rescues is God's work for sure. It is not. I'll tell you right now, it is heart wrenching to care for abandoned animals. It's heart wrenching. You see them suffer. You see them die. They have, they lose all trust for human beings, and I don't blame them. It's heart wrenching, man. And if you have love for animals, you bring it home with you. You bring it home with you. I can't tell you how many times I've cried over this cat. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I can imagine.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah, when we rescued her, Daisy, from the dog pound, excuse me, we had to give them extra $25 to cover the cost of the getting her fixed. But when you brought proof back, you got her fixed. Well, then they would give you your $25 back. Well, they were supposed to arrange. There wasn't any place in the county that did any fixing at that time. Well, it's not now, really. But there was this group had a school bus, and they did it out of a school bus across the county line. You had to carry, across the county line to get it done. And they kept putting me off and putting me off and putting me off, trying to get it scheduled. And finally, she just got too big. I mean, she got a pretty good sized dog, and well, no way I could pick her up and put her in my truck and take her and get it done. So we never did get her fixed, but when she passed, I never cried so much in my life. I mean, I cried more after losing Daisy than I did when my sister passed, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I mean,
Nope.
I wanted to be there with her. Wasn't anything I could do to help her, but the vet just told us just to stay with her, and keep her comfortable, and until she passed, So that's what we done. But she kept hanging on, hanging on. And I couldn't take it no more. I had to get out of there. I was crying my eyes out. And I got out and come in the house for just a minute. And finally went back out there. Just a few minutes later, it wasn't 5 minutes later, I went back out there, and she had passed while I was gone. And I just knowing she was waiting for me to leave before she passed, I just know she was, but it was I still miss her every day,
Yeah, it's the worst, man. It really is. They love like no human being I've ever known. Humans can't love on that scale. It's the ultimate love, and gratitude and loyalty, and yeah. And I just, man, I literally feel like I can feel when she's scared. I can feel when she's worried. I can feel when she's like any of that stuff. I can feel it, like physically feel it, and it just breaks my heart, man. Breaks my heart. I cry. I can't tell you how often I've like just thinking about when I saw her legs start doing that. I was like, shit, like she's not going to be around a lot longer, and I'm not going to let her get to the point where she can't walk, because that would just be
Right. Yeah.
that's setting her
Right.
up to become prey, and I will not let that happen.
Right.
You
Right.
you can arrest me, you can do whatever the hell you want at that point, but I will take her myself and I will have her put down, and I'll sit there with her the whole time, no matter how hard it is, because she deserves it. So, but I can't even think about it. It's gonna friggin' God. Just sucks, man. Just sucks. I don't
Yes,
know why
it does.
people have to be such shitbags. I don't get it. Don't get it. But I'm calling town because I think that his backyard is a shithole. He's got garbage all over it, and so to me that's blight. So um, I already went online today to start that process to try to get him a nice little city ordinance violation. Also,
Does he have a fairly large yard?
it's a decent size. It's a
You
decent
do
size.
need to go to Lowe's or somewhere, pick you up some Roundup, a little sprayer,
Mhm.
mix it up, sneak up there some night, in great big letters spell out a hole
Yeah,
in the glass.
that'd be a good one.
Once
That'd be
it
a good
starts
one.
dying, there's nothing to do but spray paint over it.
Problem is with that is he's got two dogs, and I wouldn't want to spray out there and have them get sick from that shit too. You
Right.
know, I wouldn't do that to his animals because
You can mix up Epsom salts and white vinegar and a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid and do the same thing, and it won't hurt any animals.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay. Well, we might be able to do that.
Yeah, look online. You can find the recipe for it online. They're non-harmful, chemicals. It won't hurt anything. So,
Bernie, I do not think it's something that only people can feel. I am positive that animals feel it. I'm positive,
oh yeah,
100% positive.
yes, I do
I've
too.
seen it in action so many times. So many times. You know, cats that know that they're on like death's door, they would never come near a person ever because they've never been around a person. They've been, you know, outside and dumped their whole lives. They're feral, and then when they're knocking on death's door, all of a sudden they'll come right up to a stranger and like almost like they're asking, like, just put me in the crate and take me, like whatever you got to do. And it's amazing what their reaction is after that. Not saying that they completely turn into a house cat, but I've seen it. I've seen them show gratitude, and it's just crazy. Crazy, man.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
his yard's a shithole. It's a shithole. It's got all kinds of shit in it. The fence is all broken, and it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yep. One cat. It's a wooden cat house. It's got a shingled roof. It's painted blue and white. It's got a little porch on it. It's a nice house, man. It doesn't. It's not like a crappy little thing. It's a nice little, you know, house. So whatever. Don't worry. I've got plans. I've got plans. But anyhow, somehow this turned from UFOs into cats and beer and all kinds of shit. Probably because I can't think, I
Yeah.
can't keep a straight thought in my head right now. I just don't feel good at all. Um, have now all rescues. Yep, they're the best
Yep.
kind. The
That's the way
best,
to go. Yeah, that's the way to go.
the best kind. You know, all those rich, snobby people will buy their fancy pants, purebreds and shit. The rescues, you know, it's a different kind of gratitude. Not that, you know, purebreds aren't grateful and loving and all that, they are, but the rescues, it's different. It just is. It just is. Salty, so am I, man. So am I, bro. I am. You have no idea the level of anger inside of me. Uh, the last 2 days, I am absolutely livid, but we'll be okay. We'll be okay. Um, Listen, I'm sorry. I just, like I said, this Lyme stuff has been horrible this last week. I've never had it happen 3 times in 1 week ever. Um, and it's really knocked me for a loop. Hopefully when I go to the doctor on Friday, they'll be able to do something because this is just awful. Do me a favor too. If you got somebody who you know is sick and they don't feel good, don't shame them for it. Don't talk down to them about it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't say like, you know, oh, I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of hearing that you don't feel. Don't do that. Don't. No one wants to feel like shit. I
No.
promise you that. Nobody wants to feel like shit. It's not fun. It's awful. And, you know, when somebody, you know, takes that and puts you down because of it, just it makes it even worse. Makes it even worse. If you could do anything to change it and feel like $1,000,000, you would. But you know, some things you just can't. So just throwing that out there. Not that I think any of you guys would, but just throwing it out there. We'll pick up the UFO thing next week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm gonna be doing a presentation at the Tennessee Wildman
Oh,
conference
nice.
in McMinnville, and it's gonna be about UFOs, UAPs, and I'll try to get a bunch of stuff together, get my presentation kind of lined up and all, and get a few things we can talk about next week. So
Awesome. Yeah, that's what I was kind of planning on doing too. Try to get some more stuff
You know,
to
it was weird. I have been watching all these shows on History Channel and things like that, and I have yet to find one. They always talk about Roswell, and they go into this missing Douglas or whatever, and they never mention the Mantell, deal
yeah.
incident. But anyway, last night, or not for last, on Alaska Triangle,
Hmm.
they actually mentioned it that Mantell,
Really?
was chasing a UFO and lost his life. And I thought, "Well, that was neat. It wasn't just a few seconds of it, but at least he got a mention anyway."
That's great, man. I honestly haven't really heard much of him ever prior to you mentioning to me on a lot of on those shows and stuff. So that's good, man. I'm glad. I hope it gets more recognition when that documentary comes out and with your book out. It'll I'm sure it'll pass through many more people's TV screens and eyes and all that
I
stuff.
hope so. I hope
Yeah,
so.
it will. It
Yeah,
will.
Joe and Jesse wanna buy a couple of my books to give away about the same time that the documentary comes out. So they won't wait till it comes out where it'll all converge together. So
Yep. Right on. Right on.
we'll see how that
Um,
goes.
Thank you guys. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not. And again, like I don't have. I guess I don't have full blown Lyme, but I sat with it for like 4 or 5 months because some crappy doctor at the ER that lost my results and wouldn't treat me with the antibiotics. Um, and so now I have whatever these complications are. Um, it's not fun at all. It's just it's really awful. It's like I was explaining it to some of the people last week. It's your joints and your bones ache so bad. Um, so you're painful all over. You can't get comfortable. I get incredibly hot and feverish, even to the touch. Like my head right now, if you touch it, is on fire. My hands are frozen. They are frozen. They feel like icicles. My head is on fire. My hands are
Wow.
frozen, and I'll go from like my whole body freezing, shivering for hours to dripping with sweat, having to change my shirt like 3 or 4 times. Um, so tired that I could probably fall asleep standing up, and nauseous, no appetite. I mean, it's awful. Your brain, you can't think straight at all. Foggy headed. It's not fun. It's happened 3 times in the last week, man. It's just been terrible, terrible. But anyway, so yeah, let me get out of here. I got to try to eat something. I haven't eaten anything today, so
Yeah, I gotta get something under my belt and
yeah, yeah,
keep my strength up. Got a
yep,
full day ahead of me tomorrow. So
yep. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it wasn't a great show again, but we'll make up
we'll
for it.
make up for it next week.
That's right. All right. Have a good day. Have a good rest of your week, everybody. Stay safe. Love each other, and we'll catch you next time. Good night.
Exactly. Good night, everybody.